Select the team you want to join. Start your season with recommended settings. If you wish to change roles or adjust...
The Ravens are now on the clock. 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 The Ravens are now on the clock.
Start your week by installing your game plan. Start your week by installing your game plan.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of Wild Card Weekend on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Baltimore Ravens. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Today we continue on in Wild Card Weekend with a great AFC matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Baltimore Ravens. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the postseason on EA Sports. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, that's really all I need to say to get you fired up. It's the postseason on EA Sports.
And no one's more fired up than the guys who are going to be playing in this game. This is what they fought for all year long. Go back to the OTAs, the mini camps, training camp, throughout the season to get to the playoffs. The intensity level will be off the charts.
The battle for the Lamar Hunt Trophy begins as we're underway in this AFC wildcard game. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. To throw on second down is Newton. And this one complete to Levine Toilolo. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Newton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cliff Averill. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Here's Rashad Penny, first carry for the former San Diego State Aztec. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
They keep it with Penny on first down. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Rashad Penny, and he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Let's go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
Penny, a first down carry. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Tim Williams makes the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Let's go. Brand 38.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 20. 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Ohio. Here we go. Brand 38.
Here's a give to Penny. He's able to get 6. A nice pickup down to the 21.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Come on, let's go. Brand 38.
They'll try to throw now. Brissett throwing the out route incomplete. That's Thomas. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Here's Penny on the counter. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. handoff to Penny. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays, exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Dumps that off to Penny as running back. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
And Vinatieri's kick is good. And the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. So no surprise if Vinatieri able to convert there. He is, of course, the owner of the NFL record for most postseason field goals.
Hard to believe he was undrafted coming out of college. And now here he is into his 40s, and he's still one of the best kickers around.
And here now the offense heading back out there. I guess you could say they're kind of fortunate to be in the position that they're in, able to host as a division champ, because it's really one of the weakest divisions in the NFL.
And there's often the discussion every time, right, that 4th seed, should they actually be hosting? Because sometimes it turns out that division winner has a lesser record than wild card teams that get in, and some people think that'd be a more fair way of doing things. I got to tell you, I personally like it. The winning a division title, I don't care what the division, how it's ranked, it still means something to me, and I like the fact that they get to host.
I think that that's the reason you have the divisions. If you didn't just stack them all up and take the best 6 records, but there's a division for a reason, and the champion hosts the first round.
And the first rule of thumb in building a team, build a team to win your division. Beat those teams first, then you go from there.
They give them 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. They'll give it up to McCaffrey. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. They'll try the air now with Newton. And he's got room. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It'll be a gain of 9, and just like that, it's 3rd down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back with more AFC playoff action after this timeout. A reminder coming up at the half, as we've done all year. We'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown on what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin on the road to Super Bowl 53 in Atlanta. It's complete to Brown, right side. Here's Justin Tucker now for the Raven field goal try. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent, that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And work with me here. Is this overhyped or not? You've got a warm weather team on the road in January, and it's cold. What's the deal? Is that a factor or is it not a factor?
I think a lot of it depends on the personality of your head coach and how you prepare for things. And some things you just can't prepare for. If you're coming from a warm weather site, you can't make it cold enough like it is here in this ball game. But what you can do is just tell the guys, dress for the weather, and then play like we always play. And as the game goes along, typically those guys out there playing, you warm up enough that it really shouldn't affect you quite the same way. Now, if that's all you talk about, if you put that in the heads of your players, it'll affect them in a big way.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. They go play action with Brissett. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. He got 29 yards that time. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving.
False start, offense.
Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come.
It's Brissett. Leaves it for Penny. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Call it a gain of 3. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end. But running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll throw again. Brissett. That's into the hands of Wallace over the middle. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. And now the Ravens are going to take another timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Come on, let's go.
Brissett again. And that incompletion breaks a string of 5 straight connections. And it's 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. To throw, Brissett. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Zach Ertz, as the first half is winding down. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. And a penalty marker's down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive.
Holding, receiving team.
Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific, it's not a great starting field position as well.
On 1st down, Newton. Rumbling past the 30. He hits his target. It's the tight end, Torlolo. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Newton on first down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Let's go. Hey, get right there.
A final shot before the break. Newton. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup. Both teams trying to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They have the lead now. They'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. The all-pro safety Eric Berry in on the stop.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down, then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
On third down, Brissett. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker board?
Yeah, those two.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... It's caught inside the 25. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Well, they've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep, find some space, and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play, and facing a second and long. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. But it looked like a Raven was able to get in there, and they will indeed keep the possession. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. A heck of a play there on third down, but amazingly, they're still short for fourth.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around to make the play on the football.
Newton now to throw. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They get 6 yards going for it on fourth, and now it's first and goal. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. First and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
5 yards, a good run there. Now second and goal.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Off play action. Newton. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. A.J. Green from 4 yards out. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the football game. An out route there for the score, a quick out route there for the score.
Yeah, you're not really surveying the defense on this one. You're just counting on timing, making this play happen. 1-2, ball's out of his hands, knows where he's going, just puts it to the outside. Touchdown.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And we are even at 10 apiece. So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Here we go. 1-9.
On 1st and 10, Brissett toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking.
And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. Give him 30 yards there. That opening drive rhythm continues right into play number 3.
Whatever they decided that they wanted to run before the game, it's working pretty well for them right now. Moving the ball downfield at a nice rate. And guess what? I think the chain crew.
Back now in Baltimore. Knotted up here at 10. That's our score as we begin quarter number 4. Now it's Penny. He takes this to the 15. A flashy juke. That got him a couple extra yards. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Now that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Open man left side is Wallace complete. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now a play fake here on first down. Mike Wallace, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Encroachment, defense.
So that's going to move them half the distance.
First of all, you can't jump in this situation, but think about your play calling now. Could easily change what you want to do and maybe make things a little bit easier.
Second down, Brissett. And this is caught. Touchdown. Raiders. Calvin Ridley, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders have moved out in front. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And what a pressure spot for both sides, really. But they're at home now. They have the football here in the playoffs, sort of controlling their own destiny.
It's a spot they've all dreamed of. This is where you want to be. Home, have the ball, a chance to win the game, control your own destiny, as you noted. But here's the thing. Don't let the crowd get too involved if you're this team now. You've got to make sure you let them carry you, but not cause you to do things out of what you're supposed to do, right? Take you away from focusing and concentrating on the game.
Because sometimes you get so amped from the crowd that can carry you into spots you don't want to be. Is that what you're saying?
From experience, sometimes that crowd gets so involved in it and you get involved with them that you end up making plays or trying to do things that maybe you shouldn't have done.
Throwing on third down, Newton. Forced out to his left. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he slides to avoid the hit. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Being chased out left. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time. Doesn't work out. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position.
Come on, let's go. Red 38. Red 38.
They'll run with Penny. And they're able to.
You've made it to the wild card round. Remember, the playoffs are single elimination.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of Wild Card Weekend on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great match.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor at M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Today, we continue on in Wild Card Weekend with a great AFC matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Baltimore Ravens. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. First down, Brissett. And the tight end, Dixon, left side. A huge play there right off the bat. 41 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Come on, let's go!
Brissett to throw on first. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
On the ground, this is Rashad Penny. And he's brought down. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Let's go!
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Here we go!
A 2nd down throw for Brissett. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we've just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Calvin Ridley taking it in. And the Raiders drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Forget about the storylines of being intimidated in the playoffs on the road. I mean, that was pretty clinical right there.
Yeah, they didn't treat it like it was a playoff game in January, did they?
No.
That felt much more like, hey, we're back in August, running a few drills in the practice field. They seem unaffected by what they're facing in this one.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
I don't think what we just saw there was any surprise, because when Christian McCaffrey came out of Stanford, we knew he was a threat running it and catching it. And any way you can get the ball in his hands, he wanted to do so. Personally, I thought he ran the best routes of anyone coming out of his draft class, and that included the wide receivers.
Last year, 80 receptions, also in the return game. He's a bit of a Swiss Army knife, isn't he?
He certainly is. Every which way you want to go, however you want to package him, I do think his running production will increase in 2018.
And that is incomplete. The intended receiver was Corey Brown. Third down here.
Come on now. Gun. Let's go.
Again, Newton. He's going to let one fly for Tate. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. Hey, nothing to see here, just your standard fourth down gain of 28 yards. And the drive keeps going. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Tackle made there by Mason Foster.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
His throw incomplete. The tight end Josh Hill was the target, and it's third down.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. And he locates Josh Hill, complete. And finally, down he goes. They work it inside the 10 to the 7. First red zone chance now for the Ravens. They've got it first and goal at the 7. Newton to throw. Dancing to his left. And he slings one that's incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. Here's second and goal. Throwing again is Newton. This is caught. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a third. And goal situation. Now Newton on third and goal. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. A.J. Green there to make the grab. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the football game. That's why you've got your... Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more.
Someone really wanted to be in the lead here because that's a heck of a gamble, isn't it? You're down 1, you kick it, you got a tie ball game. Instead, they fake it. And I keep coming back to this every time I see it. Remember, if you're faking an extra point now, the ball snapped at the 15-yard line.
Yeah, you're giving up 13 yards as opposed to just lining up at the 2 and saying you're going to go for 2.
You're running a big play, lots of yardage for 1 extra point. That's a heck of a gamble, but it paid off in this case.
They go play action here on first down. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. And they've got it here with a first down. Penny. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. Tyler Patman on the tackle.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Play action now. Brissett. Ertz has it left side. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. And down inside the 15 he goes. 12 more yards there and another first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. From the red zone now, Brissett. And this is incomplete.
He's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete.
Here we go.
On second down, Brissett again. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
That's caught. It's Thomas. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Into the air once more. It's Brissett. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Calvin Ridley. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And you talk about great blocking up front. I don't think he was even touched, not a finger on him, until he was brought down to the ground.
I think we heard the whoosh as he went by, didn't we? Right through the gap. No one there, as you outlined, no one touched him at all. A free sprint into the secondary.
Yeah, that's what you call breaking free right there. Nice gain of 8 that time, and it's second and goal. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more AFC playoff action after this timeout. Another shot from the 1 on second and goal. On the ground, McCaffrey. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. A great effort there. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Ravens can take the lead now if they hit the extra point. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive, and how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And the last play on the drive, the touchdown run from Christian McCaffrey. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. The defensive end, Cameron Wake, brings him down. The Raiders try to move quickly, try to get everybody back to the line. To throw is Brissett. And this is Ertz with it, right side. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. And this is going to be incomplete.
So they look like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
So on 4th down, here's the veteran left-footed punter, Donnie Jones. Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
That burst good for 20 and a 1st down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Cam trying to rally his guys to the line as quick as he can. This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. Buying time to his left. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. Taking matters into his own hands, and he picks up 4 yards and a 1st down.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, and his first carry of the game right there, he had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well. Here's Newton. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. A.J. Green as the first half is winding down. And the Ravens are in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels.
Take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that one falls incomplete. A 50-50 ball. A little dangerous. Could have been picked. Now it's 3rd down. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. And he's able to get it up close to the 35, but hang on here. Penalty marker down. And this one might be going the other way. So holding will scratch off some of that return.
And I know fans get frustrated when they see penalties of this sort on kick returns, but it is difficult to do it right against these moving targets at full speed. Hard to do.
And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient. Followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Newton. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he will find Ridley on the left side. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
Here's Brissett. And that is incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
On the run, it's Penny. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a 1st down as well.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. He'll pick up another 1st down with that run.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time. Really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on third and goal? To throw, Brissett, and that is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And Vinatieri's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So that will push him back.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some space here. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open.
And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Dante Fowler in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. It's been a good one so far, just a 2-point game here. The Ravens on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. A shotgun snap for Newton. And going deep for Hill. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about...
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Brissett. Throw right side, caught by Ridley. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And now here come the Ravens. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bifema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Brissett. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Now following the interception, here's Newton. No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Newton. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's 3rd down. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. From the gun, here's Newton. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 12 yards to pick up there, good for a Raven first. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this 4th quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He lost 9 there. That's really going to set him back for 2nd down. Throwing again is Newton. Fire one deep over the middle. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play that time for the Ravens. 44 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there isn't a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Newton now to throw. And able to find Green. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a 1st down here. Well, not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Time for a break. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a toss. This is McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Throwing here, Newton. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. He's hit the 50, the 30, 20, 10, and the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. This game, it's been defensively oriented on both sides, so I guess it stands to reason that the play of the game comes on defense.
So it's my kind of game. You know that.
Right.
Anytime we have a
Right.
defensive battle, but that, as you said, it stands to reason that's the way the game tilted. Someone had to make a big play, and the way the defenses were dominating, that's exactly what we got.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Cam Newton getting ready to go again on offense. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually, there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is, whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, well, man, what do you need? What's going on here? So he's one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw is made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
He's got his man here. It's Green. And they got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
I think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. The Ravens moving quickly here as the clock runs. He'll look to throw, and he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. 3rd and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure, and if you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field.
He's going to let it fly. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
And Tate's got it. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Back to throw. Green's got it over the middle. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he is into the end zone for Corey Brown. With time running out, and the Ravens have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter.
So for those of little faith, guess what? It got done. They now have the lead with that touchdown this late in the contest. I wonder if that was a play they were holding or a play that they just knew would work from past experience.
Well, I just saw it in their eyes on the sideline before starting that last drive, and they did. You're right. They got it done. Looks like they're going to be the winners. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Here we go. What?
He's back to throw. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed him. Instead, 2nd down. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
Getting into the playoffs is one thing. Now they get to move on. Just 8 teams left.
The dream stays alive. Everyone's gunning for the Super Bowl. That's the ultimate. But you have to get there in incremental steps. One win today gets them one step closer.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Ravens are victorious here as we say so long from Baltimore.